at the period of September 1st through the 10th, it's been a pretty cool start for us, about the 7th coolest on record in Waterloo with an average temperature of 60.7. But how about Dubuque, the coldest on record for September 1st through the 10th with that average temperature of 58.6, and Cedar Rapids in second place. Ken, we had all those highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s, but things have been really warming up over this week. 70s to begin the week. We had 80s the last couple of days, and you can see a clear warming trend over the last 7, and we'll continue that trend over the next few. Of course, that is factored in by the warm front that will be swinging by for tonight. We're already in a really warm air mass. We have high temperatures today in the 80s and even low 90s for areas south of I-80. But then once that warm front comes through, well, of course, it injects even warmer temperatures, and it looks like maybe a 4-day stretch of the 90s starting Saturday, continuing through Tuesday. Again, for some in the south, might be a 5-day stretch, including today. You can see how consistent that south wind is, keeping our temperatures well above normal for the middle of September. Signs of things cooling down a little bit by Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk about that here in a second. But as far as the heat index is concerned, things are going to be pretty humid as well with that south wind. We're talking dew points about the mid to upper 60s. So you start to separate out the heat index a little bit, what it feels like on the skin, because you can't sweat and cool down as efficiently. We're talking heat indices through the weekend, mid to upper 90s. So again, it's important you keep drinking water even if you're not thirsty and you're taking breaks in the cool air or the shade, whatever it might be. Now let's take a look at the upper air pattern, because again we have this big ridge. That's why the heat is peaking over the weekend. It's almost focused right over Iowa and through the middle of the country. It almost looks like you have some cool air that tries to build up out west, but that almost misses us just off to the north, and it basically keeps us in that warm air with the ridging all the way out through about Thursday of next week. But then finally, some signs of this breaking down. You have this cool pocket of air, and watch as that deepens. Another cold shot moving in from Canada, and that should cool things down into next weekend. Now, that's well beyond the 7-day forecast, so we'll keep an eye on it, but it does look like things will break down a little bit as we head towards the end of September. Otherwise, highs today, you can see them anywhere from the mid-80s to the low 90s. It is going to be breezy out there with a mix of sun and clouds. Just a very slight chance for storms near the Mississippi River tonight. Most of us are dry. We'll see our lows down into the 60s, and then tomorrow as warm as the mid-90s there in our southern counties. So maybe flirting with some dangerous heat with the humidity. We'll stay in that range through Tuesday, and then of course with the rain we start to cool down by the middle of next week.